Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is. Kurbmeister Klotz, back in the garage, working on my GT40 kit car. It's a race car replicas kit car. Today, I got body fitment, and I'm going to show you how I fabbed a tilt front end. That's why the front end's all blown apart here. No radiator. Stick around. Before we talk about the front end, I'd like to show you how the back end came out. I'm doing the rough body fitment, but you can see that I've got pretty good line. I mean, this is just rough, pretty well fared. This is the spider or the roof. It goes down like this. This is the rear clam, and there'll be a latch right here for the rear clam, and then a pin here, like an old-fashioned hood pin. So that's going to be securing it down, but it's pretty easy to open. Right now I just have a lanyard so it doesn't go over backwards, but I'm happy with the way it works. I designed the rear tilt to be able to lift off. So I'll have to unplug a Canon plug or a connector for the lights and rear camera and all that kind of stuff. And one man, disconnect the lanyard, or I might have some gas struts, I'm not sure yet. But disconnect those three things, and you can actually, one man can lift the whole rear clam off and set it down. So happy how this works. It sits down in there pretty good. There's some locating pins right here. There's one on the other side. I'm going to install a second pin on both sides, so it'll really be solid, but I'm happy with it the way it is. The bodywork is pretty solid on there. So that's my rough fitment for the back end spider rear clam rocker panel. It's just rough, but it's good. I'm happy. I didn't realize that just by shortening this up that this gap comes together. So it was less work than I thought. It's going good. The front clam, the front end on the original car, pulled forward, pulled off the car, and you set it on the ground. I didn't want to set mine on the ground, and I like the tilt feature. So today's video, I'll show you what I fabbed up so the front end will tilt. And yeah, I'll take you over to the workbench and show you the pieces I made up, and then we'll put them on the car, and then we'll put the front end on there. Okay, here's those 4 mounting pieces that I made. Kind of fun. 1/8 inch mild steel. Welded a nut, 1/2 inch nut to the other side. This will be on the fiberglass, mounts to the fiberglass. Picks up 4 mounting points, and one for each side. Same. Had to be bent a little bit. There's nothing really flat in that front fiberglass section to mount to. So these, I'll show you where they go, but also welded a nut, and that nut is drilled out. So I don't need a bolt this long, but it's basically going to go through. And then the front end will tilt. This will be stationary. This will tilt. And I also went ahead and, I don't know if you can tell anymore, but there's actually 2 1/2-inch nuts right here. And I can screw in a tow hook. So this hole here is for the tilt. And the other hole would be a 1/2-inch bolt threading in like that. Or, you know, if you're on the track or you want to load your car in a trailer or whatever, you need a good place to tow. And then this is the same idea. And this goes through. You'll go through into there. Let's see if I can do this one-handed or not. Probably not. Maybe. Get the angle right. I think I got a couple threads. Okay, so the angle is just 2-inch angle iron, and it's this one picks up 8 holes, the other one picks up 5, but the chassis will be tilting like this. Of course, I'll need a shorter bolt. I just had that bolt handy, but that's the plan. And like I said, it was kind of fun to fab up stuff. Paint, fab, paint, bend, weld. So I've already got the front clam up and ready to be to have those pieces mounted. Mount in here. Kind of hard to see, but I'll put those on with you guys. And then those the 2-inch angle iron goes right here. So it picks up these 5 holes, and then I have 3 holes on the bottom. So it should be, you know, it's just towing for get the car off the racetrack or get the car loaded on a trailer type of thing. So I'll set the camera up and we'll start putting those angles on. Okay, driver's side also has the tow hook location, and there's the pivot. I already got the bolts in place. Pretty good fit. Oop, I forgot my washers. Gotta have washers. So this piece has 8 grade 8 fasteners securing it, but for the video, I'm just going to put 2 on. The front end will work fine, and I can come back and put more fasteners on when you guys are not around. Okay, here's one. Okay, that one's spinning. So that pin goes through here, and it's going to pick up this piece, something like that, and this will be on the fiberglass, so the whole thing can tilt. So that's what it looks like. One side done, pretty solid. Okay, we're back on the other side. Here's my piece I fabbed up. Same story. Just 2 fasteners for right now. This side only has 5 fasteners, but this side doesn't do any toe duties over here. So, should be good. I can get the nut started. Here we go. Starting to spin. Okay, that's tight. Real tight. An Allen on the other side, countersunk. Okay, so there's a second bracket, 2 brackets. Next, we're going to put the brackets on the bodywork on the fiberglass. Okay, over here on the driver's side, there's my bracket. Remember I said I had to bend it a little bit. So there's a through hole. So I can put another nut to capture that 1/2-inch bolt. I'll be coming back with some silicone sealant to really glue this thing together. But for the video, I don't want to mess with it. So large area washer on the other side, and some lock nuts. Secure this in place, and that pin will be going right through there. Remember, I was saying it's hard to find a flat surface in here. But I had this 1/8-inch mild steel, and it's going to be great for my purposes. This front piece is about half the weight of the back piece. So, and you can kind of see this is where the original car, the bodywork slid in here, and there's a piece of aluminum was bolted here and captured the front end right there. But like I said earlier, I wanted to I didn't want to have to set it on the ground. So anybody watching this video, if any of you guys got a online calculator or a trick or a tip to figure out how this thing would rotate. Right, my pin is right here, and eventually, when it opens up far enough, it hits here. But it just seems like there ought to be a resource that someone's already figured out. And I looked, and I just, if anyone has any suggestions on, because I had to do the same thing on the aft end, figure out where I wanted the tilt from without hitting everything else. So, yeah, if anyone has any insights on that, how to figure on the radiuses or arcs where, you know, something's going to tilt, leave a comment, because that'd be great. All right, 4 fasteners. They're in shear. Remember, my bolt's going to go right through here, and it's going to pivot right there. So I'll probably just do the other side off the camera, and then you guys can laugh while I struggle with this to get it in position over there. Okay, got to put this over there. I gotta flip it. So I've got my handy dandy rope set up here. Might be funny. We'll see. Okay, that part's done. Leave that there. Come around over here. Going down. Okay, let's see. It's not in position yet. There we go. All right, so it's roughly in position. I have these bolts to put in. So you can see what I'm doing. Put some light on things. That was a good sign. Good sound. Okay, there's one started. That one started. Okay. That's good. Okay. There's my tilt front end. So, opens it up. Close it up. Remember, I don't have my pin in here to hold this exactly where it should be. And this door is not fitted. But I'll bring the camera in closer. But pretty easy, pretty simple. Although a lot of thought to figure out that arc, how it's going to pivot, what's going to hit, where to put the pivot point. Because you got choices. Right, starting out with the front end open, you can see that black piece of structure that I put in there. And you can see where it goes. You can just barely see that pin. But that's about it for there. And you can see in here, those are the 4 fasteners coming through the fiberglass. There they are. And over there is that slide right there. And you were originally just going to slide the front end off the front. And it had, the car came with what's called bobbins for it to slide on. So I'll close it up and try and show you more pictures. There's that pin, or that 1/2-inch bolt. There's the other one. And it just picks up that metal. And there's clearance in there. Of course, I've got a center line on the body work. And you can see that it's, well, maybe you can see, it's pretty close to being centered. So I'm happy with that. So things I don't know that I have yet to find out is up there is what's called the nostril. And there was a double nostril or a single, that's a single. And that piece fits in here. And it helps with cooling, and it helps keep the car stable at high speed. It helps it from flying. The air that comes in the front hits that nostril after going through the radiator, and then goes up and hits the windshield, creating downforce on the car. So that's the nostril. But as this thing tilts, that nostril will be in there and it'll need to tilt. It'll be tilting with it. So, and then the other thing is I have the fuel caps that fit in there, but I haven't mounted them yet. They're billet, they're beautiful, and I just don't want to bang them up. But to really know this thing is going to be sitting in there, could be clearance issues. I think I can lift it up and it'll be fine. But so I still have to kind of check that out, and then how that nostril is going to fit in there and clear everything in there. So anyway, works and I'm happy. Wasn't too bad. It's fun to fab up stuff. Car's coming along slowly, but getting there. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. If anybody knows how to figure out the best pivot points for things, like where I mount the door pivots, the front clam, the back clam, I kind of can see it in my head, but it took me a few tries on the back. I think I got lucky on the front, came out good. Doors are not done yet. So if anyone knows, there ought to be someone that's done this and has a tutorial or a quick guide or cheat sheet or something, because it takes a lot of thought, hurts my head. Got to drink a lot of beer. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Curbmeister Klotz saying, keep the shiny side up and your nuts tight.